Hi there, it's me T again. So, I decided to do another video. Today is Friday the 13th, thus my Friday the 13th shirt that my sister gave me for my birthday a couple years ago. She also gave me a Halloween shirt, so um, I figured this would be a pretty cool shirt to wear. Um, Friday the 13th is like a superstitious day, kind of like April Fool's Day. Uh, mainly the theme of the video I want to and the subject I want to talk about is it's that time again is politics. As you know, 2024 being an election general election year, we now have two official candidates. Um, third the third time around is Donald Trump, and now we got Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. I hope I get her first name pronounced right. Um, Basically, it was Biden 4 months ago, and then in a wild twist of turns after his first debate, yeah, Trump steamrolled him, and then it looked like Trump was very, very confident, and I saw that. Um, didn't look good for Biden in June. Uh, and this is my opinion. I feel like the Democrats have every right to be concerned, but I feel like I think it was very unfair what Nancy Pelosi, the former House Speaker, a lot of celebrities like George Clooney, Obama, and all them. I feel like they edged out Biden because they knew he was going to lose, and the polls weren't looking good. He had a horrible debate. Yeah, and it was like 2016 when Hillary Clinton, there wasn't a lot of enthusiasm in her base, and people were very complacent. So Trump was very, very confident he was going to win it with Biden still in the race, and he was about to get the nomination. What I think was very unfair that the Democrats did was take Biden to the side and mention his age and everything and other things, and didn't have confidence and didn't believe in him and persuade him to drop out of the race. And I feel like Biden earned it, and it should have been his decision. Thankfully, they left it like that. But I still feel like they kind of bullied him into dropping him out. But that's just my opinion. Um, on the positive side, I liked how he handed the baton off to Harris. Um, and eventually, within a week or so after she became, everybody got on the Democrat side, got on the bandwagon, as they say. I eventually came around and I realized what was more at stake: our democracy. And so, yeah, I became supportive of it. But I still think if the Democrats were that concerned about Biden and his um, lack of performance and everything, they should have or ought to have taken Biden to the side before he filed for reelection papers and say, look, Joe, you're a good guy. You've done a lot of good for the country, but we want someone younger, more charismatic, running for the next election. And they would have gave Harris a chance, more time to expose herself. Right now, she's playing catch up, trying to get people to get acquainted with her. But she's done pretty phenomenally well, and I'll go into that in a minute. that's just my feeling on the whole thing of how the Democrats handled the thing with Biden after his disastrous debate performance. Um, but overall, I voted for him. I liked him. I, um, I do these videos. I do try to be neutral, but yeah, I voted for Biden. Um, I just felt, and the reason is I felt he offered a more positive vision for the country versus Trump, and he knows how to work with people across the aisle. He's very masterful. So that's why I picked Biden. I liked his sense of style and leadership and everything. Trump, I did at one time give a chance, but after seeing all the chaos and controversies and during his 4 years of the presidency, I and seeing him how he handled the pandemic and the riots and everything, I couldn't support him. Somebody like that for another 4 years. So that's why I chose Biden over Trump in 2020. Um, I like Harris because Harris, like I said, she's young. She is very charismatic. She's an inspiration to a lot of people. I like how she speaks very eloquently. Trump, to me, comes back as one of them people that has a lot of grievances, a lot of scores to settle. Um, I watched him at the when he gave his acceptance speech. The first maybe 10 minutes, it's not like after the assassination attempt, it looked like maybe something had changed in him, and then eventually he came around back to his old self, grievances and everything. And I just sit there and nod my head, and I just like, yeah. In fact, Trump is actually the same age as Biden was in his first year where he's in the White House. So my feeling is if you're going to judge someone on their age, you got and their downsides, you got to look at yourself first and make sure your own house is clean before you judge other people. So I watched the RNC acceptance speech, and then I watched the DNC acceptance speech. And I'll tell you, I like Harris's pick, Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota. And in fact, being a former Wisconsinite, I find I have a lot in common with the guy. And that's another reason why I like Harris, because Harris comes from a working class roots family, and she's very, very smart. Her father and mother are very highly educated, um, backgrounds in science, you name it. Um, so Harris really gets it, I feel like. Um, Trump, he comes from a very rich family. I'm not blaming him for that. But I don't think he really understands what it's like to truly have to struggle and go through tough times financially. He's always been bailed out by somebody with money or institution. And he doesn't really understand what the working person goes through. So that's why I feel, as a voter, a taxpayer, and citizen, a former vet, a veteran of the armed services, I feel like I'm going to support Harris. And then watching generally the second debate, presidential debate, um, I was so happy to see a candidate go up to another candidate and shake hands. I think Harris is trying to bring back normalcy like Biden and shake hands, introduce herself, start out a little slow. Um, but as the debate between Harris and Trump was going, And throughout the night, toward the end, I think Harris pretty much hit it in the ballpark and beat Trump 10-1, I think. Um, Trump made some good points, but then, she got underneath his skin. Harris got underneath Trump's skin. And clearly, when he made the comment about the cats and dogs being eaten, or the claim being dogs and cats in Springfield being kidnapped and eaten by immigrants, Haitians, whoever, I think my gut feeling tells me this is my prediction, and I could be wrong. I think with those kind of comments after the debate, it's the beginning of the end of his campaign, maybe even his career in politics. I don't think maybe the end of being involved in politics, but what I mean by end of his career in politics, running again for president. And I think he's realizing that. So as it stands, after the debate, Harris got a bump in the polls by 5 points. She's ahead by 5 points. She's now with RFK dropping out. Yeah, I in my gut feeling, this feels like 2008 again, and partially 2020. But it feels like 2008 because you have a younger candidate versus somebody that's been in the establishment. Um, but it's a very historical election too because you got a woman that is in very good position to become the first woman president, first non-white woman president. And then, of course, if Trump manages by a miracle to win again, like in 2016, he's going to be the first president in maybe 2 or 3 generations to get a second non-consecutive term. He'll be the second president in history next to Grover Cleveland. Cleveland was the 22nd, 24th. Trump, if he gets it, will be the 45th and 47th president. But I don't think Trump's going to get it because the unknown. And Clinton had a lot of baggage and was very well known. Not many people, even in her base, was enthusiastic about her. The tables, I feel, have turned, and time is slowly turning the page on Trump and his. I'm trying to think of that word. His legacy. He's going to have a very bad legacy, and I just feel like history's not going to judge him too well. So